everyone, welcome to CricPunts with Fasi. We are done with the first test match between India and England. And England have taken the lead in this 4-match series and they go 1-0 up. This is a very famous victory for England team. Mind you, it's not easy to come to India and win matches, let alone this comprehensively. 2021 is a year of underdogs. India winning in Australia, West Indies beating Bangladesh in Bangladesh, scoring some 390 odd runs at the last day, and now England winning in Chennai. Now, will England win the series? There's a long way to go, but take nothing away from them. England have bossed this game right from the ball one. India were always catching up in this game and they were barely hanging on to this match. Day 5 wasn't a thriller we were hoping it would be, but kudos to England for bundling India out for 192, who could not put up a fight much like they did in Australia. There was no long vigil from Pujara or no counter-attacking fourth innings 90 runs from Rishabh Pant. It was one-way traffic. It was England all along and they were able to take the 9 wickets well within the team. Oh, this will hurt. This will hurt India real bad, and whatever hangover was left from the Australian tour is all gone, and they've been hit with a dose of reality by a very resolute England team. So, India started the day needing 380 odd runs and England needed 9 wickets to complete a famous victory on the Indian soil. India actually started well with Pujara solid as ever and Gill playing some eye-pleasing shots, but Leach has found his rhythm in the second innings. He was bowling very well with a lot of control and he bowled some unplayable balls to the Indian batsmen. Gill reached yet another half-century playing some glorious shots alongside Virat Kohli, and it did seem like India were building a little partnership, but Anderson, you little beauty. He was brought into attack after a few overs when the ball started to reverse, and boy oh boy, did he get the ball to talk. His accuracy and control over the ball is second to none, and he broke the backbone of this Indian batting lineup in the span of 4 balls as he castled 2 Indian batsmen, Gill and Rahane, with an absolute peach. Anderson has aged like a fine wine, getting better with age. He then got Pant with a clever off-cutter to shut the doors on India. But we aren't really over the Australian series yet, are we? We were hoping for some magic, some miracle to happen, and the way Kohli and Ashwin were batting, it did give us that 1% hope that India might just save this test match. But it wasn't meant to be. The only positive out of this match is Kohli getting back to his groove after a long gap and getting some match time in his legs. But he soon ran out of partners and he was knocked over by a beauty from Stokes. Coming to the pitch, you expect from a day 5 pitch to misbehave a bit, and the spinners were getting good purchase of the pitch as we saw yesterday, and there was more grip and bounce for the spinners. Especially Jack Lee was able to get a lot of spin and bounce, especially by pitching on the middle and off stump. He was able to get the ball to spin away sharply, and that's how he got Pujara out. But the Pacers also had something to work with on the day 5 pitch, because there was a spot outside off stump for Anderson on pitching there. He was able to get the ball to jack in sharply, and that's how he got Gill and Rahane. But yeah, this is a very abrasive pitch, so ball gets scuffed up really quick. So because you see, reverse swing doesn't really happen until the ball is very old. At least a minimum of 30-40 overs. But you could see the new ball was reversing very quickly within 10 to 15 overs. That is because of the abrasive nature of the pitch. Because it's so rough, the ball was getting scuffed up very quickly. That is why you saw Anderson coming late into the attack, because Joe Root was holding him back so that he'll use him when the ball starts to reverse, and you could see that impact right away from the first over of Anderson. So that was good tactic from Root. But overall, it was a decent pitch. But the first two days was an absolute road. But the rest of the days, there was more even contest between bat and ball, which was nice to see. I told you at the start of the series that this England squad is not a team which will be rolled over that easily, and they will come well prepared and put up a fight, and that was visible the way they have outplayed India in this test match. This is their 6th straight away win, and that Sri Lankan series has provided them a good preparation for this Indian series, especially for these subcontinental conditions, and they will have the tail up to win the series in India and reach the World Test Championship final. Everybody contributed in this win, but their star pick was their skipper with a sublime double 100. He just toyed with the Indian bowlers and put up a sweeping masterclass. He tied them down and just continued on his merry way round. It was a total dominance from England, and this win will give them a lot of confidence going forward. So what went wrong for India? Well, to be fair to them, they are just back from Australia after a grueling series and they barely had any time to prepare for this one. They just practiced for 3 days before this test match. But that's not an excuse. So coming back to this match, they lost an important toss on this very flat and lifeless wicket, and England took full toll of that. But the thing which will hurt them more will be the way they played in their first innings. The pitch was still flat and it was still easy to bat on, but their shot selection was very poor and they just didn't apply themselves better on the flat pitch. But to be honest, I don't think there will be any panic alarms in the dressing room. Not yet, because they were just outplayed by a better England team and they have to accept that. But one thing that will really worry them is the workload of their bowlers, especially with just 3 days between the next test match and the hard toil they put in. It's going to be tough going forward in the series. Three of their premium bowlers are coming off an injury, and that's something the Indian team needs to think about with the T20 World Cup coming up later this year. I don't think there'll be any changes in the 11 for the next test match for India. I just think that Kuldeep will come in for Nadeem. Except for that, I think they'll just play the same team. So, a lot to think about for the India, and they need to come up with the answers real fast. Had they won this match, they would have had that cushion of resting maybe Jasprit Bumrah for a match and bring him back for the third test match. But with the series on the line and with World Test Championship on the line, I don't think they have that cushion after losing this first match, and they'll be forced to play Jasprit Bumrah again. So, where do we go from here? The next test match is in Chennai within 3 days' time. So, both teams don't have much time to recover and come up with new plans for each other. One important note for the Indian fans: India can't afford to lose even a single match in the next three test matches if they want to qualify for the World Test Championship final. So, a lot is at stake here. The series is beautifully poised with England one up, but I still feel Indians are still the favorite in the series, and I think they will come back well and win the series. But hey, strange things have happened in Test cricket this year, so a lot to look forward to. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about this match. See you a day before the second Test match. Till then, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.